God. Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Premsi Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Mathura Dham ki jai. Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Tulasi Devi ki jai. Yamunamai ki jai. Gangamai ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Dev ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Bhagavatam Shri Guru Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagam Sujivam Savaitam Savadutam Paritam Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Rama Krishna Param Sahagam Shri Vishakam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jidapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Mostute Kata Kanchana Gaurani Radhe Vishwari Shubhana Sute Devi Pranami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatu Yascha Kripasindhu Devacha Titanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavi Namo Namaha
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasa Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Tonight we'll be reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, text 1, I believe. In the big book. Text 1. Sanjaya Uvacha Tam Tata Kripaya
Ashtu Purna Kulekshanam Vishidantam Idam Vakyam Vachana Sudanam. Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion and very sorrowful, his eyes were brimming with tears. Madhusudana, Krishna, spoke the following words. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kudastvajkalamidam Vishani Samupastitam
Namasvargyam Akirti Karam Arjuna.
The Supreme Person, Bhagavan, said, dear Arjuna, how do these tears have begun? Say not about
And who knows the life, they
Text 3. Adhyam Brahmasmakam Mavarka Kankam Adhyate Shriram Hridayam Pavapalyam Yanto Vishnapam. Translation. O son of Krita, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It is not becoming. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy. Text 4. Arjuna Uvacha Kritam Krishnamaham Sankye Ronancha Madhusudana Ishruti Prapi Swami Majasa Madhusudana. Arjuna said, O killer of Madhu, Krishna, how can I counterattack with arrows of battle? Men like Bhishma and Drona were worthy of worship. Text 5. Durona Matan Hanubavan Shreyo Vorgan Politum Vaiksham Api Loke Abhadaham Suzuru Hava Unjiya Vogandri Pagritam. Translation. It is better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though they are avaricious, they are nonetheless superiors. If they are killed, our spoils will be tainted with blood. Text 6. Jaita Vidman Kantarano Kariyo Yata Jaimaya Yadipano Jayayu Yayavata Jiji Shamas Devasanta Panke Dharastra. Translation. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. The sons of Dhritarashtra, whom if we kill, we should not care to live, are now standing before us on this battlefield. Text 7. Vichami Kavarana Samudra Cheta Yashreyas Yamishchita Ruhitane Shishyasteham Shadimantam Kapanam. Translation. Now I am confused about my duty and lost all composure because of weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me clearly what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and soul surrender to you. Please instruct me. Text 8. Nahi prapashyami mankun panudya yachokam achoshanam indriyam Translation: I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drawing on my senses. I shall not be able to destroy it, even if I won an unrivaled kingdom and prepared for sovereignty like living gods in the temple. Text 9. Sanjaya Uvacha Evam Uttva Rishikesham Gulakesha Parantapa Mayotya Iti Govindam Upatushni Bubudha. Translation: Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of the enemies, O Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight and shall silence. Text 10. Anuvacha Rishikesha Rahasani Bharata Smayorvayo Madhye Shisi Tamidanacha. Translation: O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to grief-stricken Arjuna. Back to text 1. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation, text 1. Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion and very sorrowful, his eyes brimming with tears, Madhusudana, Krishna spoke the following words. So, yesterday we left off with Arjuna casting aside his bows and arrows, sitting down in a chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. This is intense picture. You can see there's a lot of emotion coursing through Arjuna at this very moment. When Krishna comes in, being ready to speak. Srila Prabhupada says in his purport, material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. The word Madhusudana is significant in this verse. Lord Krishna killed the demon Madhu, and now Arjuna wanted Krishna to kill the demon of misunderstanding that had overtaken him in the discharge of his duty. No one knows where compassion should be applied. Compassion for the dress of a drowning man is senseless. A man fallen in the ocean of meshes cannot be saved simply by rescuing his outward dress, the gross material body. And who does not know this and laments for the outward dress is called a Shudra, the one who laments unnecessarily. Arjuna was a Kshatriya, and this conduct was not expected from him. Lord Krishna, however, can dissipate the lamentation of the ignorant man. For this purpose, the Bhagavad Gita was sung by him. This chapter instructs us in self-realization by an analytical study of the material body and the spirit soul, as explained by the Supreme Authority, Lord Sri Krishna. This realization is made possible by working with the fruit of being situated in a fixed conception of the real self. In this purport, a man fallen in the ocean of meshes cannot be saved simply by rescuing his outward dress, the gross material body. The ocean of meshes being compared to our situation in the material world, where we're just swimming and swimming across this seemingly infinite ocean where there's no relief. The only relief taking shelter of this Supreme Authority, Lord Sri Krishna, as explained by Srila Prabhupada. So this chapter he's giving us a nice kind of foreshadowing of this whole chapter, saying that this will instruct us in self-realization by an analytical study of the material body and spirit soul, the differences that come with both. So this is very nice. This is contents of the Gita summarized this chapter. It's a very important chapter. I'm really trying to fix myself on looking into this chapter specifically because everything's here. So let's continue on. Text 2. Translation. The Supreme Person, Bhagavan, said, "My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the progressive values of life. They do not lead to higher planets, but to infamy." Purport. Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan throughout the Gita. Bhagavan is the ultimate in the Absolute Truth. Absolute Truth is realized in 3 phases of understanding, namely Brahman, or the impersonal all-pervasive spirit, Paramatma, or the localized aspect of the Supreme within the heart of all living entities, and Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, this conception of the Absolute Truth is explained thus: Vedanti tattva viras tatmam jnanam advayam bhaveti paramatmati bhagavan iti shatyate. Quote, the Absolute Truth is realized in 3 phases of understanding by the knower of the Absolute Truth, and all of them are identical. Such phases of the Absolute Truth are expressed as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Bhagavatam 1-11. These 3 divine aspects can be explained by the example of the sun, which also has 3 different aspects, namely the sunshine, the sun surface, and the sun planet itself. One who studies the sunshine only is a preliminary student. One who understands the sun's surface is further advanced, and one who can enter into the sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students who are satisfied by simply understanding the sunshine, its universal pervasiveness, and the glaring fortunes of its impersonal nature, may be compared to those who can only realize the Brahman feature of the Absolute Truth. The student who is advanced still further can know the sun disk, which is compared to the knowledge of the Paramatma feature of the Absolute Truth. And the student who can enter into the heart of the sun planet is compared to those who realize the personal feature of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Therefore, the Bhaktas, or the Transcendentalists who have realized the Bhagavan feature of the Absolute Truth, are the topmost Transcendentalists, although all students who are engaged in the study of the Absolute Truth are engaged in the same subject matter. The sunshine, the sun disk, and the inner affairs of the sun planet cannot be separated from one another, and yet the students of the 3 different phases are not in the same category. The Sanskrit word Bhagavan is explained by the great authority, Harsha, the father of Vyasa. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who possesses all riches, strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation, is called Bhagavan. There are many persons who are very rich, very powerful, very beautiful, very famous, very learned, and very much attached. But no one can claim that he possesses all riches, all strength, etc. entirely. Only Krishna can claim this because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma, or Shiva, or Narayan, can possess opulences as fully as Krishna. Therefore, it is concluded in the Brahma Samhita, by Lord Brahma himself, that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is equal to or above him. He is the primeval Lord, or Bhagavan, known as Govinda. He is the supreme cause of all causes. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarvakaranam Karanam. Quote, there are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagavan. Krishna is the supreme because none can excel him. He is the Supreme Person. His body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is the primeval Lord Govinda and the cause of all causes. Brahma Samhita 5.1. In the Bhagavatam also there is a list of many incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Krishna is described as the original personality of God, in whom many incarnations and personalities of God have expanded. They Chansha Kala Pumsha Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Tuya Ulam Lokam Ritayanti Yuge Yuge. All the lists of the incarnations of Godhead submitted herewith are either plenary expansions or parts of the plenary Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Therefore, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the absolute truth, the source of both the Super Soul and the impersonal Brahman. In the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna's lamentation for his kinsman is certainly unbecoming. Therefore, Krishna expressed his desire with the word putas, wherefrom. Such unmanly sentiments were never expected from a person belonging to the civilized class of men, known as Aryans. The word Aryan is applicable to persons who know the value of life and have a civilization based on spiritual realization. Persons who are led by the material conception of life do not know that the aim of life is realization of the absolute truth, Vishnu, or Bhagavan, and they are captivated by the external features of the material world. Therefore, they do not know what liberation is. Persons who have no knowledge of liberation from material bondage are called non-Aryans. Although Arjuna was a Kshatriya, who is deviating from his prescribed duties by declining the fire, this act of cowardice is described as befitting the non-Aryans. Such deviation from duty is not helpful in the progress of spiritual life, nor does it even give one the opportunity to become famous in this world. Lord Krishna did not approve of the so-called compassion of Arjuna for his kinsman. So we must put forth lots here, lots of nice philosophy. We just understand the complexities that are Krishna, the inconceivable aspects of these three different phases, with the last word of transcendence being Bhagavan, understanding and realization, understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, in a sense is not different from these two other aspects, namely Brahman and Paramatma. But no one is equal to or above him. Therefore, he is the supreme cause of all causes. He's the fountainhead of all incarnations as well, the original personality of Godhead, at which all sources, all love, all creation, all their expansions and incarnations emanate from. So this imagery that Sri Prabhupada gives us of the sun, different phases of the sun, is very helpful in understanding this. Effulgence of the sun, which radiates from the sun planet, can be seen as pure in the rays of the sun. You can say, okay, I'm in the sun. But one also has to understand that they're not in the heart of the sun planet itself. They're merely basking in the effulgence of the rays that are emanating from it. Beyond that, there's the actual localized sun disk that's in the sky, a higher stage of understanding. And even further beyond that, there's the inner happenings of the actual planet itself, who we can understand is governed by a personality as well, the sun god, who we hear about later. So this is nice. I was thinking about, as I was reading this purport, about what Krishna says, as he said, he says, Raja Vidya Rajaguriyam, Avitrami Abdumam, Vidyaksha Bhagavan Parmyam, Susukam Kartamavyam. Meaning, this is the king of education, the most secret of secrets. And because it gives direct perception of self by realization, it's the perfection of the vision. So this is from chapter 9, text 2, most confidential knowledge, when things really start cooking. Krishna speaks this to Arjuna. And as I was reading this, it says, let's see. No living entity, including Brahma or Shiva or Narayana, can possess opulence as fully as Krishna. There's nothing that goes beyond this knowledge of Krishna. We can understand, we can never fully understand the complexities of his internal potency, or maybe even his external potency. But through the mercy of the pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, and the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, we're being given the supreme science. And if we just listen to our heart, we can hear it screaming in approval of the knowledge that we've been missing our whole life. This is a knowledge that is supremely potent and can satisfy the self as we hear and take up devotional service, rendering this transcendental loving service unto the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. We can actually, if we stay unmotivated and uninterrupted in this service, we can totally satisfy ourselves through causeless knowledge that comes as a natural result, and detachment of these worldly matters that bog us down and cover man's pure consciousness, which burns like fire and which is never satisfied. So this is the only way to step into a proper constitutional position as a servant to Krishna. Some thoughts.
Oh, okay, question. Okay, question? Maybe?
Can we wait?
Oh yeah, question.
Can we wait?
Oh wait, yeah.
Let's continue on to text 3.
Okay.
O son of Krishna, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise and chastise the enemy. Krishna here is saying, you're speaking learned words while you're lamenting for subject matter that's always changing. He can understand that all this is degrading impotence. He knows that Arjuna, he's worth more than this. Saying, give up petty weakness of heart, and arise. Prabhupada says, Arjuna was addressed as the son of Krita, who happened to be the sister of Krishna's father, Vasudeva. Therefore, Arjuna had a blood relationship with Krishna. The son of a Kshatriya declines to fight. He is a Kshatriya in name only. If the son of a Brahmana acts impiously, he is a Brahmana in name only. Such Kshatriyas and Brahmanas are unworthy sons of their fathers. Therefore, Krishna did not want Arjuna to become an unworthy son, a Kshatriya. Arjuna was the most intimate friend of Krishna, and Krishna was directly guiding him on the journey. But in spite of these credits, if Arjuna abandoned the battle, he'd be committing an infamous act. Arjuna might argue that he would give up the battle on the grounds of his magnanimous attitude for the most respectful Bhishma and his relatives. But Krishna considered that sort of magnanimity not approved by authority. Therefore, such magnanimity, or so-called non-violence, should be given up by persons like Arjuna under the direct guidance of Krishna. This is referencing some words that Lord Damodar about the duties of Kshatriya, and how seemingly, if we're judging from a material line, what Arjuna is being asked to do seems sinful, but it's actually right there in line with his nature. The Kshatriya to fight And by not fighting, this would actually be committing an infamous act. Srila Prabhupada says. Krishna says. So we can't judge these things. Brahmana, he does. In other yugas, he does sacrifices. Sacrifice to animals. Seemingly this is wrong. Kshatriya, he kills. The Vaishya, he does what he needs to do in the way of his mercantile activities. And I was sharing with some Prabhus last night, Jagannath Damodar, in this purport that I read in Bhagavatam, about how essentially anything that's given by Krishna in the form of instruction has to be considered supremely important, despite its inevitable outcome of maybe what seems to be simple reaction. When Vidura comes back home from pilgrimage in Bhagavatam to help his older brother Dhritarashtra, help him quit home and help him become liberated, save him from the horrible predicament that he was in. Vidura, along with his brother Dhritarashtra, they sneak out of the kingdom and they head out to the Himalayas to advance further in the spiritual way, as death was kind of right around the corner for Dhritarashtra. Vidura, out of his compassion, wanted to make sure that Dhritarashtra was prepared. So they take off to the Himalayas, and this leaves Yudhishthira Maharaj wondering where everyone went. Yudhishthira Maharaj, very pious, always wanted to take care of family, especially so the point is made that after Kurukshetra, Yudhishthira Maharaj felt so responsible for the pain that he had caused his uncle Dhritarashtra and his aunt. 100 of their sons died. 2 of them at the hands of Bhima, I think, Dushasana and Duryodhana, like 2 prominent sons of the family. So naturally, Dhritarashtra was devastated, and Yudhishthira Maharaj was talking to Sanjay, who was equally concerned about the whereabouts of his uncle, or his master. He was talking about, oh man, I hope they haven't taken my offenses seriously and went to go drown himself in the Ganga. Because Yudhishthira Maharaj was, though we heard this yesterday, there are 6 kinds of aggressors. What's that? Stealing of one's wife.
Poisoning.
Poisoning. One who sets fire to the house. Yeah, taking the land. That's good. I mean, essentially all of these acts were committed against the Pandavas. They had every reason to fight. Yudhishthira Maharaj and Arjuna, very compassionate, pure devotees of the Lord. They could understand that there are very severe repercussions to the progeny, degradation of womanhood, even immediate reactions within their family. A lot of pain that they would have caused, that they did cause some of their family members. So the devotee might be able to sense some of these reactions, but at the will of Krishna, he still continues on. And we can understand that everyone follows Krishna's path in all respects, whether they're aware of it or not, whether they do it directly or indirectly. Krishna will, as the supreme controller, get his way, and it's a way that is so much more thought out than any way that we could dream, trying to create, and control. It's for our highest good, despite it not always looking like it. So, I was talking about this point that I made last time, about these acts that in the varnashram seemingly are impure, but are actually part of their duty. It's considered to be like smoke around a fire. Fire is the most purifying element. Though there is smoke around it and it looks impure, actually it remains pure. And we can just kind of hold on to our post, the duties that we've been given. Actually, they'll purify us in time, despite the smoky cloud that's around us in the way of these false perceptions. These limitations that come with our orders that are given to us. We can just follow through with them. Life becomes very simple and very blissful. Because it takes us off the position of thinking that we have any real say in things, thinking that we know what's best. The contaminated intelligence, our every move just sabotages us. And we think that we're working for our best interest, but really we're just putting us in a hole. If we're trying to do things by ourselves, on our own accord, outside of guidance from Guru, outside of what we hear from Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. And all we'll do is further implicate ourselves in this horrible predicament that we're in. It binds us to this birth and death in the material world, this old age and disease, this inevitability to we get so attached to these things that ultimately won't leave us. And then when they do leave us, perhaps we were in so much ignorance that we just didn't even see it coming as a possibility. But the Guru says to Dhritarashtra, he says, Vangreshu Saktanam Pramatanam Padiyaya Adhyakarana Vikataha Kala Paramadistaha. Imperceptible time, insurmountable time, imperceptibly overcomes those who are too much attached to family affairs. They're always engrossed in their thoughts. And later says, Patikriya Vinasyaha Vashit Karichiprabo Saesha Bhagavan Kalaha Saesham Samagataha. This frightful situation cannot be remedied by any person in the material world. It is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as eternal time, or Kala, that has approached us all. So, we can remain in ignorance and postulate as if we're actually enjoying. And this is what people are doing. No one's actually really enjoying. To enjoy material nature, to enjoy material energy is to suffer material nature. It's like a shallow lake on a hot day and produces no cooling effect and actually satisfy our most innate desire for eternal bliss and knowledge. But yet we try, and we do so under the guise that we have all the time in the world. We won't be kicked out of our current position here. But the fact of the matter is we cannot stay in our body, we cannot stay in this world with our family. These are illusory ideas that I am of my family, that I am of my body, that I am of my nation, my religion. So we must throw these very foolish ideas off. Because the learned man, he doesn't lament for subject matter that's always changing. He understands that what he is, which is a soul, who is an eternal servant of Krishna. He knows this well. So what is the value of a prolonged life, which is wasted in experienced by years in this world. It's better to have a moment of full consciousness, because this actually gives one a start in searching after his supreme interest, which is Krishna. Text for purport and translation. Arjuna said, O killer Madhu, Krishna, how can I counterattack with errors in battle, and like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? Purport. Respectable superiors like Bhishma, the grandfather, and Dronacharya, the teacher, are always worshipable. Even if they attack, they should not be counterattacked. It is general etiquette that superiors are not to be offered even a verbal fight. Even if they are sometimes harsh in behavior, they should not be harshly treated. Then how is it possible for Arjuna to counterattack him? Would Krishna ever attack his own grandfather, Ugrasena, or his teacher, Sandipani Muni? These were some of the arguments by Arjuna to Krishna. Very logically, Arjuna was making points. This general etiquette that superiors are not to be offered even a verbal fight is something that really stands out to me, and further puts upon me the realization that I'm nowhere near exemplary Vaishnava etiquette. There's so many deficiencies I have in my interactions with the devotees and my superiors. Fully surrendering them to them and understanding them. They are far more glorious than myself. They actually do what's best for me. But actions speak louder than words, and for one to treat one as such, I feel like it's far more valuable. I think it's far more valuable to act properly than to speak properly. It's important to speak properly too. In this case, not even establishing a verbal fight. But even if there is sometimes harsh behavior, they should not be treated harshly. So this helps us foster tolerance. This is essential. A man's greatness is estimated by his capacity to tolerate provoking situations. And here at RBC we have very close association with the same people, more or less the same program that we run every day. This can be a breeding ground for, quips that we pick off one another, fault finding, and it can potentially breed hostile conditions. But ultimately, if we can rise above it and look at these little things that come up as an opportunity to really do the work that matters, to become tolerant. These things don't matter. I'm not going to remember the thing that upsets me in the most silliest of reasons. In 20 years, I'm not going to be thinking about the small things that a devotee does. I'm going to be thinking about how I miss their association, and how I wish I could go back to this time and really make the most of it, really enjoy just what a special thing that we have going here. So, if I can understand that now these things don't matter, and begin to really push them aside and see the devotee for who they are, which is, they're in the shower, they're getting clean. So am I. So, we should cherish, this is kind of off tangent, but yeah, we should cherish people who are on the same path with us, because only through their association can we remain on this path. When we start discounting them, or writing them off as fallen or this or that, so much more exalted in this devotee, where is this going to put us? It's going to put us right to the exit door. RBC, we should be so lucky to spend the rest of our life here at RBC. That's what Krishna wants of us. Essentially, Krishna, he's not fazed by Arjuna's intelligence here, because he knows with what direction Arjuna is speaking these words, that he's coming from a place of a misunderstanding, not in full realization that what Krishna wants for his devotees is ultimately the best for him, though it seems to break some of these cultural rules within their society. This is still treated as extremely important instructions that give way to liberation and immense enjoyment, reciprocation that comes from serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 5, translation. It is better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. This is Arjuna speaking. Even though they are avaricious, they are nonetheless superiors. If they are killed, our spoils will be tainted with blood. He's saying, how will I even enjoy this kingdom if I do it by means of killing my teachers? These great souls. How can I enjoy the kingdom? Once again, this is Arjuna's displaying his pastime, his misunderstanding, thinking about the fruits of his activities, how sour they'll be if they come at the cost that he's being asked to undertake. Let's read the purport real quick. According to scriptural codes, the teacher who engages in abominable action and has lost his sense of discrimination is fit to be abandoned. Bhishma and Drona were obliged to take the side of Duryodhana because of his financial assistance, although they should not have accepted such a position simply on financial considerations. Under the circumstances, they have lost the respectability of teachers, but Arjuna thinks that nevertheless they remain his superiors, and therefore, to enjoy material profits after killing them, you mean to enjoy spoils into the blood. Jai. Say 20. Maybe if there's a quick question. If not, we can wrap it up. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.